currently 10:04. You're listening to In Good Company, and this week I am joined by the fabulous Margaret Meadows.
Thank you very much.
Margaret's stepping in for Lisa this week, and we've got our first studio guest. We're going to be talking to Sue Pertile, who's the new director of Northern Suburbs branch of Zonta. And Sue, welcome to the studio.
Thank you very much for having me.
Oh, thank you.
It's lovely to have you, Sue, and reading through some of the information, it sounds like this Zonta organisation is just fabulous. Tell us a bit about Zonta and how and why you got involved with it.
Zonta is an international body of women who, which started over 100 years ago now, and what the whole objective, really, the main objective, is to build a better life for women and children. I got involved through two people, matter of fact, from one of my ex-deputies, because I'm a primary school teacher, and from go to philosophy, so Jean Wider from philosophy. So they both said, "Oh, you will love Zonta." And so I went along and did my 3 meetings, and well, they knew straight away I was going to be happy because I just love women, and anything that helps women is my area. And Zonta has certainly helped women and endeavours to do much more.
Yeah, definitely. I actually know Jean. We used to work together years
Oh.
ago. Yeah, and I know Linda Tinney. She's very active.
Yeah,
And
yes, they're all
Jenny
active.
Gleeson. Yeah, yeah. So Zonta's a fabulous organisation. You do lots of social events as well, don't you?
Yes, well, I just wanted to bring up one of the August the 3rd, we've got Young Women in Public Affairs, which to me, I just love being involved with these young women. They inspire me because not only are they women who we hope will be future leaders, which is really, really important to be encouraging women to be involved in decision making. As Ruth Ginsburg said, a famous lawyer,
famous.
Yes.
Supreme Court judge, High Court judge in America said that all women should be involved in every decision that is made in the world. And of course, at the moment, we're not. So Young Women in Public Affairs is just a way that we help encourage women, girls, well, most we think they're women at 17, but it's not just academia, it's girls who are involved in the community that have a sense of social conscience is very important, that we work together to make things better for our own women.
Yeah, so there's some mentoring that happens with that, isn't there?
Oh yes, mentoring, and a big thing is to keep up the networking so that we're there to support women. But seeing I'm at ECU,
Yeah.
another thing I'd like to mention is I'm involved in the Lucy Bowen Award, and I don't think it's only exclusive to our club, and with wonderful Dr. Carolyn Varvies, who is now retired. I'm going to be doing it with Melanie Baxter, is it? Sorry, I've forgotten her name. But we interview young women, or mainly older women doing nursing, and we give a bursary. So once again, that's to encourage women involved. Just a little bit more is we're having a meeting in November, and I've done 15 bursaries now, and 11 of them are coming to talk about their careers.
Oh.
So it's very exciting. I love the Lucy Bowen Award.
It sounds fantastic. I mean, you're obviously very passionate about this organisation.
Oh, yes, I get
so-
told.
and
I'm
that's a
very
good
loud
thing.
and I'm very passionate. But how could you not be? Because we're dealing with empowering women to give, and girls, and education, of course, is crucial for that.
Yeah.
But also with education, we need to make women feel comfortable, because often we're our own worst enemy. We're good at talking ourselves down, and we need to help lift girls
Yeah.
and women to believe in themselves.
I mean, you've really explained it well there, because women around the world often feel very disenfranchised, and just how important this organisation is, really, to you and to women everywhere.
Well, I feel it's time for women. We see in Canberra big changes happening. Australia's, we got the vote, one of the first countries to get the vote, but we haven't sort of moved on very far from there. I mean, gender equity is really a big thing for the future. Just one statistic I know from the government, when a woman stops to have a child and she's got a career and stays home 5 years, she loses 55% of her income compared to men. So just being women, particularly if you want to have family, we are at a disadvantage.
Yeah.
And here we are, as you said, on the grounds of ECU Edith Cowan, with Edith Cowan's actual original cottage just down on the lake there. And she was the first female politician here in...
And an
WA.
inspiring woman who we often
Absolutely.
don't talk about, but
No.
the forces she had to fight with, a bit like Ruth,
And raised
really.
a family.
Yeah, raised
Yeah.
a family.
Yeah.
And sadly, I think my generation, girls, I'm 68, is even if you had a good husband, our husbands also had ingrained attitudes where we did a lot of the housework and the child rearing and doing what we wanted to do. But I hope with younger women it's easier.
That's a good point, because I was actually going to say to you, this is obviously an organisation for women, but how important are the men in this conversation?
I think particularly really domestic violence, which we're very involved in, is very important. It can't be seen as anti-male. It has to be seen as, because at the moment we've been listening to studies, they talk about it's aggression and anger, but it's more about ingrained attitudes that have gone on for thousands of years, and they have ingrained attitudes, and they have often had poor role models, and so have we, in that we accept it and that we're not as good, etc. So yeah, I think men are a vital... I've got 2 sons. I think that particularly the younger men coming up, they're going to be a vital part of changing where we stand, and it benefits them if their women are doing well.
Yeah, a cultural shift is not something that happens overnight.
Oh no, well, I
Yeah.
think it will still be fighting when I'm long gone.
And it's interesting too, you mentioned Ruth Ginsburg there, and of course we have all this upheaval in the US at the
Yes.
moment just over the abortion rights, which is just one issue. And we're lucky that we're living in this country in many, many ways, because those decisions that are made primarily by men
Your own body.
and about your own body, and the fact that women are not able to make that decision for themselves is just a huge backward step for them, isn't it?
Oh, medieval. I mean, if the irony is that you still meet women who agree with it. I mean, I got called a lefty the other day because I totally agree that what happens to my body is my call.
Yeah.
And especially no man has a right to tell me to do what with my body, because they can walk away, and guess what? I'm left with the child. But also what annoys me, that often people who are we can't have abortions, but then when they're asked to put a home in their suburb for orphans or disadvantaged children, they don't want to do that because it lowers their income, not the income, the value of their home. So, I mean, you can't have one. I've worked with disadvantaged children. If you're going to believe that every child must be born no matter what the circumstances, then you have to support the children.
Good point, Sue. Good point.
Yeah.
Can I go back to the Young Women in Leadership event that's coming up
Yep.
shortly in August? You mentioned some bursaries that you've given out to support young women in their careers. And you mentioned something like 11 or something? 11
Oh, that was
bursaries?
to do with the Lucy Bowen.
Oh, yeah.
I've now done 15 women. That sounds
Wow.
good. 15 bursaries.
Yeah.
So,
My question was, what kind of value are these bursaries and support?
well, I think from what they say, the Young Women of Public Affairs sounds not a lot, $1,000, but it's more a point, of giving that girl acknowledgement and
Yes.
encouragement and
Support.
networking with good role models.
Yeah.
With the young women, with the Lucy Bowen, we've just increased that thanks to Ramsay Health, who support that, and this is their 3rd year in supporting us. A lot of those women are married or mature aged or single and struggling, like single mothers. So that 2,000, a lot of them haven't got computers or medical books or childcare. So once again, just being a woman
Yeah.
can be an issue, because we have things that often we need to consider, because a lot of women are on lower incomes for a start. Yes.
Sue, what are some of the events that you put on to fundraise and to get funds? I mean, it is the physical presence of being with a role model and a mentor that's very, very important, but also the money. How do you raise money? What are some of the events?
Oh, well, we used to do the old sausage sizzle and things like that, but we've moved on. We had a quiz night the other night, which was very successful, and we're having a champagne tasting. But really, and they're all good, but often that encourages other people to come along, so it's not the same people giving their money.
Yeah.
But really the future, which entails advocacy, is to get companies to support us, to be involved in women's issues, because we can't do it all on our own. And with that, we get more influence, like I'm here on the radio. If we've got companies like Ramsay Health helping us, well, that gives us more social media, more contact with people, and that helps us have more influence.
And to be honest, most of the big organisations are thinking, how can they support diversity and inclusivity? And that would be a great opportunity to support something like Zonta, to put your money where your mouth is.
Yeah, and often, it's just because they haven't been asked. I mean, the CEO, I always say her name, Leonie, she's been absolutely marvellous. And women, I think we just need to ask. And we've been supported by men. We've got 3 sponsorships for the Young Women of Public Affairs. Don't ask me who they are because I haven't been involved.
Check the website.
But I know one is a man, a son. I mean, we've had a lot of men support us too. So there's a lot of good men out there who've got daughters. They want to see things
Yeah, but
change.
you're quite right. People still need to be asked.
Yeah, you need to ask.
Yeah.
My father, I was lucky to have a very good father, and he said you always ask. You can only get 2 answers. One's yes
That's
or
right.
one's
It
no.
increases your chances by 50%.
Yeah, I mean, it is about that awareness, isn't it? And just getting your name out there, really, because there's so many organisations now looking for help, and just putting your head above the parapet and, like you say, just saying, we need some help here.
And we need awareness too about our ingrained attitudes to
Yes.
so many things that affect women, like domestic violence. Why doesn't she leave? Well, there's a lot of reasons why she doesn't leave.
Yeah, so Sue, people listening in today that might be interested in getting involved with giving Zonta a helping hand, or young women listening in that might need some help, what sort of activities can people do to help support Zonta?
Well, we do birthing kits,
Oh.
which are very, very... I happen to have some facts here.
Oh, yeah.
Since 1999, we've done 2.4 million kits, 30 countries, and 60%, because that's the Birthing Kit Foundation, 60% have been made by Zontans. So this year we will have 2 birthing kits events, so we find young women are great coming along helping make those. And if you don't know what a birthing kit is, obviously we send them to third world countries. It's a piece of plastic, a blade, gloves, soap and a cord, because
That's it.
most women die from infection.
Yeah.
So it's trying to cut back infection. And also we make breast cushions, which get sent all over this state, the ones made here. Kath Snatchell's in charge of that, does a wonderful job. And luckily I haven't had breast cancer, but you put it under, because you've been cut under your arm, and we get donations from women who get the birthing kits, the breast cushions are given out in the hospitals.
That's amazing, isn't it?
So it's just simple things.
Yeah,
it's
very.
not always something big.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like kindness. Kindness changes a day, changes a smile.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, because it's just those little things that can make such a difference. And this is an international organisation, but you are making a difference at a local level.
Yeah. Oh, yes, it's not just international. That's what I wanted to say is that, look, we're a service club and we do there's a lot of international and there's a lot of local. But it's not just about that. It's about being with a group of women who also empower each other, and you make long-term friendships, and it's just wonderful. My club is just got the most beautiful
All right,
women.
so you've sold us. How do people get in touch with you, and what do they need to do?
Well, if you go online, you'll find our website is Zonta Northern Suburbs, and it's all the information is there. And if you want to know international, look up Zonta International.
Oh, thank you so much for coming in, Sue. I'm actually going to go to that event in August
Yeah.
at Miller's Yacht Club. You're doing fabulous stuff out there for women, and here's a track for you. I hope you enjoy it, Sue. Thank you.
Thank
for
you
coming
very
in.
much for asking me.
Thank you.
you.